Welcome everyone. Jeez, welcome everybody. We're back, and we've already got people in chat. John's Tech is back again with us. Thanks, John, for joining us. So tonight is Cryo Chillz Coolant update. We got Carlos with us, so he'll be hanging out as well. But it's going to be kind of some more chill stream, I think. Isn't supposed to be my CST? Yeah, it is 5 o'clock Central Standard Time actually right now. I did try to mention, I'm sorry to move the stream time on y'all, but we're just having a little bit earlier. I had some plans that I had to get to later, so we're doing it now, but if anybody missed it, they can always see it on YouTube or Twitch later on, so we have that as an option as well. As you can see, I still have the test loop set up, so I was just going to mention that it's been running now for a week. The last day I took a couple times of like shutting off the pump for about 4 or so hours, letting the coolant settle, all the particles in it settle out. And that actually seemed to work just fine after I turned the pump on. All the particles that did settle out like that. That's what I'm getting to, Tor. Settle down. So all the particles that did settle out when I shut off the pump all went back into the coolant just fine, and I'll actually show you guys that right now. I've had it off for at least 2 hours now. It's not like completely settled out like it does if you let it sit for like more than a day, but it's pretty settled. So you guys will see it go back into the loop as far as that goes. However, I have noticed a little bit of residue that's sticking in the back of the top of the reservoir, and I'll try to get you guys an angle on that. So that, I guess, is my only concern so far, but I guess we can go ahead and just show you what's going on. So like I said, you can see it's kind of mostly settled out. And we'll flip the pump back on, and hopefully you guys will see how well it does with mixing back into the loop. So here we go. I don't know how well y'all can see it. I wonder if I should actually turn off the LEDs. No, the LEDs kind of put a glare on the tube, I think. I just turned them off. Jason's driving. What? Are you sure? I guess maybe. It makes it seem more reflective, but it's actually not like that reflective. So that's all it does with, like, there was quite a bit of sediment down at the bottom that actually fell out, but it all mixed back in when we turned the pump back on. However, let's see if I can get you guys a decent angle on this stuff. Actually, I wonder, can I put pictures in chat? Let me try this really quick, because I got a picture of it with my phone. Like, you can see that way easier of the stuff that's stuck. Where is it?
Say just put them in the Discord chat.
Oh yeah, I could do that. So here we go. I think, here, wait, I gotta find where I put them. I think I got one right up here. Yeah, here we go. Or here, I'll just show you, what am I doing, guys? Okay, here we go. Face cam plus desktop. So here's the picture. On the back here, you can see all this is kind of stuck stuff. It's stuff that's stuck. It's the particles, the mica chunks that they somehow clung to the wall a little bit. I'm not quite sure what would have caused that. I am thinking that this is the lowest flow area of this test loop. And seeing that the drop down tube is like right there, and this stuff kind of forms just like that, I'm wondering if like I either didn't have the coolant up this far on the tube, or else had a much shorter drop down tube there. If maybe it would make it so there wasn't so much of like a current there, an eddy current, as Elliot mentioned before, is what can ruin this kind of coolant, is just any kind of eddy current where it makes the coolant kind of just stall. So that could be the case here. I don't know, you guys can take it for what it is. I think it needs more testing, in my opinion. You guys can see it there again. So I don't know. Let me see what chat is saying. Oh, yeah, Jason's running it. Tor has. Oh yeah, so Greg has used the silver stuff. Yeah, what is the spread your pump? Oh, the speed, it's 100% all the time. So it's moving as much as it can, and that still kind of happened. I really don't think it was cleaning. I don't want to say it was, but I mean, I can't, like, there's always a human factor, so I guess there's that. But I straight up hand cleaned that reservoir tube. So I don't know if it was in somewhere else, I'd clean the loop pretty thoroughly. Yeah, I think if nothing else, it's how the flow is working, which is why we will take the silver stuff that I got here and we will test it in a new test loop, is what I decided is going to happen. So we still got a whole bottle of this, and I can honestly like reuse that stuff. I just don't think that it would be very useful because it's already used coolant. So we're going to use the new silver stuff that I have. And what's up, Alex? Glad you could make it, man. So I think what we will do is I'm going to make a new test loop. If you look down at the stream schedule there, I said we're going to build a loop in the Define S. It's not actually a real loop. I've got like a motherboard. I got this CPU block here. I got this radiator. I don't know if I have any other radiators, but at least this is one radiator. And then we have this fancy dancy custom reservoir that I made a while back. So this goes in the Define S there. It's mounted into the wall. So I'll use this as the reservoir. I don't know how this is going to work as far as like currents and stuff go with this, how, you know, with what happened with this reservoir. So I don't know if this is going to help it or hurt it. However, I just want to test some new coolant, or I want to just run another trial run because I don't know. This is like a partial success in my opinion. Like as far as I can tell, I don't know what exactly caused it. If Daniel was in here, what's up, Jason? Oh, he's saying, hey, what's up, Johnny? Oh, Elliot's in here. So, Mike, yeah, Elliot talked with me yesterday about it a bit. And I think, Elliot, were you pretty sure that it was probably like eddy currents or whatever is what happened? It's low flow there. Like, if you look, that is definitely by far the lowest flow section of the entire loop. It's right back there. Like, the coolant doesn't move very fast. So I don't know. I don't know how to really judge this test. I mean, the fact that it didn't all fall out means it's like a partial success in my opinion. Like the loop would honestly still be fine. You'd really never notice that. Like say this is in your build and that's just the back of the reservoir, you'd never really see that. If that's all that ever happened, I would say that's pretty good. Just from what I've seen in 3D coolants in general. Yeah, well, yeah. So Carlos is speaking from personal experience with View. His fell out in the tubes. And I don't know if we ever determined what exactly caused that either. Because View failed on me twice, and I did a thorough cleaning. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I did a pretty thorough cleaning of that. This next round, this next test loop, I'll be sure that it is double extra clean. I guess I don't know. I broke down the block and the reservoir. The radiator came pre-filled, so it was already pre-cleaned by AlphaCool, but I also blitzed the radiator and flushed out with distilled. The block was new, but once I tubed it all up, I ran Blitz through it for Blitz Part 2 for several hours. Maybe it requires a full 24. I guess if that's it, then that was my mistake. However, the loop did seem pretty clean just by, like I said, I cleaned every component. I'm only talking about comparing the effect. Okay. Yeah, the effects between View and Cryo-Chillz is pretty different because, as Elliot said, like this is a mica coolant, just like Aurora is, meaning that it just has actual chunks of mica in the coolant. They're not chunks. That's probably the wrong way to say it. They are very, very small particles, but they still are particles, and that's what's happening here. Is there's getting to be a little bit of buildup on the back of the reservoir there, but I've seen Elliot's show me some pretty wicked buildup of some coolant, so I've seen worse. But I guess that's probably the best deduction out of this test is what I got is I've seen worse. I've seen much worse. So I don't know, guys. Take it for what it is. I don't know if anybody else has any input. Who is anybody in chat here also tried the UFO Cryo Chillz Coolant? We just got 4 more colors today, actually. Oh, it's supposed to run distilled for 24 hours after blend. Yeah. So, like I said, Friday, I will be. What's going to happen is we're going to build like a test loop in the Define S. So, like I said, I have the motherboard, the block, this radiator, and the reservoir. So, in a sense, it'll be a great tutorial for teaching you guys just more PETG bending. I know that's kind of a popular topic as well. You guys always like to see tips and tricks. I have done some just videos on that and a stream or two in general about tube bending, but I think this next stream will be really useful because like I'll have a block and a reservoir and a radiator, and I'll have to go from one to the next to the other. And that's really where the challenge of hard tubing and bending tubing comes in, is when you're faced with an actual bend in your case. I can teach you guys how to make a nice 90 all day long, but does that mean you can use it when you're building your loop? I have no idea. There's a lot more to it than that. So hopefully that'll be a good video or stream for you guys to hop into. And after we're done building that loop, I will make double sure to make sure it's all clean, no matter what. And then we will put the silver view back in it. So we will build the loop on Friday. Hopefully we can get the whole loop built. Yeah, I'll do it hard tubing. It's just a CPU block. We'll still have basically the same components. The reservoir will change, and we'll be switching to hard tubing. So those are like the only differences that there'll be. It'll be the same pump and everything, so it'll be the same 100% flow speed the whole time. But I think judging by the way this test goes, I think I need to, even if I could change the speed of this pump, I would keep it 100% anyways. Silver UFO. This stuff, the same brand, just the silver. I didn't want to reuse the red, and I don't really think I need to get another bottle of like red, so I'll just use the silver. I kind of tested the red first to see how the UV worked out, and it is what I thought it would be. Some people thought it looked good. I thought it looked like most UV coolants, and it was, I don't know, it looks like most other UV coolants. That's all I'm going to say. No, and like I said, this stuff looks good. I really think this is cool. I've had people like just stop by and like hang out in my room or whatever, and they're all like, whoa, this is some really crazy stuff. Aurora versus View. Yeah, that'd be fine, dude. Like I said, so Friday I'll be building that new test loop. So earliest I would probably be able to fill it would be like Saturday. And I guess I don't know if I should do a stream on filling it or not. You guys saw me fill this little test loop. Maybe I'll just fill it myself and I'll give you guys pictures. You're sleeving your cables right now, John? Nice. I want to get, I want to sleeve some more cables. That was fun. We should do some more on that maybe soon. But yeah, so earliest I could probably do is fill mine on Saturday. I don't know if you meant back to back, like you test Aurora at the same time as I test UFO. I mean, if that's what you meant, Elliot, I'd be down to do that. I don't care. I don't know. Carlos, what do you think? You're, like I said, you've used View, and now you've seen me use UFO. You've seen stories from both, I think. And Aurora's been around a while. People know about Aurora and how to use that for the most part. No, there's just so much information out there. Even Elliot knows a lot about Aurora. Identical loop vectors, but dude, I don't know if we can do that then, because I was going to use, I have this custom reservoir that I made for the Define S, and that's what I was going to be in as the case. So like, that's kind of a surefire difference. Like there's pretty clear cut. Unless I make you one of these. Oh yeah, I could. He said to make identical loops basically. I also have just this bits power block, the Summit EFX block, so that'd be a difference. Yeah, I don't know. Like if we might have enough parts just sitting around, we could figure out identical loops. What's up, Sean? We're just talking about how the cryo chills worked out. Um, but I'm not going to tell you. You're not going to make. Yeah. But like I said, I mean I have this reservoir. Like I have this stuff right here. You see this stuff. So if you have anything pretty similar to that, we have that. I could use that reservoir in there. I don't need to use the custom reservoir, I guess. You have that block. Do you have a 280 Alpha Cool rad? I'm trying to. I don't think I have another rad that I can throw in there right now. Yeah. So a 280 Nexos. But like, would you even go down to like the fittings and everything? Because to be honest, I gotta look at how many angled adapters I have. I'm gonna this if I don't actually check that out soon. I have a 360. Oh shoot, that's not quite. Yeah, I just have the 28. This is I think when this technically be a UT30. This is from one of the Ice Wolves, but it's the same rad. Yeah, that's pretty close. So that might work. I don't know, but like, do you want to do even like same fittings? Because uh, yeah, I have a lot of mainly EK fittings. I was going to use a EK HDC for compression fittings, 1612. But I don't even know how many angled adapters I have sitting around. I mean, you see some here. So I have those. But as far as actually knowing which ones I need to use, I don't know yet. Because I'll have to get the stuff in there and then start figuring out bends. And hopefully I'm not a complete noob at it in it. So I don't know. It'd be tough. We can talk about it more though, dude. That, like I said, it might be tough to figure out if we have enough like parts. If I had more time, like I said, the stream's kind of on Friday. So if I had more time, I could try to get some more parts, but I don't know. Yeah, no. Carlos, like I was saying, what's your take on it? Being just a customer. Just a customer.
Just a customer.
Yeah.
From a customer standpoint, I just from my experience with Coolant.
Uh-oh. Carlos doesn't like View. But what do you think about UFO since we're talking about cryo chills?
Um,
Because I mean, you hang out on our Discord. Someone mentioned before, Greg in our Discord. He's a cool guy. He hangs out a lot. He's been testing the UFO cooling quite a bit. Um, so you've seen that. I think you've seen posts.
Pretty familiar with his coolant. Um, I'd be willing to try the cryo stuff in a new build. I'd be willing to do that for my personal rig.
You'd be willing to try cryo chills? Yeah, that's a good point, Sterling. Yeah, because I mean, you were even telling me how, like, and I even mentioned it just a little bit ago that they're both mica coolants. There are some differences between this stuff and Aurora, but it is more similar to that than it is to View. So that's definitely true. As I've always said, anyways, make sure that everything is perfectly clean in your loop if you're going to use any kind of 3D coolant. I mean, just in general, if you're using any kind of colored coolant or anything like that, besides just plain distilled with some biocides and whatever else you want in there.
You got to be cautious of what you're doing.
Yeah. So if you're running anything colored, whether it be 3D or not, you want your loop to be spotless if you want your coolant to like hold up and keep its color, because coolant is just touchy. Yeah, Jason's got cobalt blue. So how do you feel about it so far, Jason? Yeah, I don't. I'm just trying to get everyone's opinion on this. I'm the middleman for everybody here, so I try to just give you guys the information that I get. We've seen View, we've talked to people with View, and there's like I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've talked to Elliot about it too, and there's definitely a lot of good things about View, and I've seen it work in loops just fine. Uh, I I really just think mainly it boils down to the user making sure everything is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, can film tubing. Yeah, well, and you even, I think it was you that talked to me about um, just distilled water. There's differences in distilled water. Like if you go to Walgreens or Walmart, those could be two completely different distilled waters. So there's like so much that can factor into coolant that it is. I mean, I've always said it. I deal with coolant RMAs quite often enough, and all the time it's just kind of a hassle. Like, I mean, obviously, if you guys have a problem with your coolant, you bought it from us, hit me up. I'm not saying don't RMA it because it's a pain, but it really kind of is just because it is so hard to determine where it failed. Uh, it rested today, so we'll see after it's been in a legit loop if it mixes well. Yeah, like I said, aside from the stuff that's stuck to the back of the reservoir, I've had this stuff off for multiple hours at a time. I've done it a couple times now, and every time, all the stuff that settles out when that happens, it goes back in. So that's pretty promising in my opinion. But this is only a week. This is only a week long, so there's also that to be said. This loop's only been running a week. Actually, 6 days maybe. I don't know. It hasn't been long. Not long enough for me to trust in any system. Even if it went perfectly well. Like if it was perfect still, I don't know. I'd still be iffy. A week just isn't long enough for any coolant. I've been running my Mayhem's Pastel. I've had this stuff in there for 6 months or more now, I think. Never had issues with it. I had Pastel in there before that for like 3 or 4 months. And when I switched coolants in between to an X1 Clear, there was no like buildup of any sort in there. I didn't switch to X1 Clear. I switched to X1 Blood Red, and that stuff turned really dark red. But I think that's just the nature of red. Yeah, questions because we don't trust you. We just no. And that's how I feel. Like it's just so hard for me. Like I said, being the middleman. It's one thing for you guys, Elliot, because you guys are Primo Chills, so you know what your coolant all is. Whenever I get to do an RMA, or I don't exactly do RMAs, I help people with RMAs and talk to the company. So when I do that, I'm, like I said, the middleman, and I just have to go back and forth between them. And sometimes it seems like I'm being a dick because the company needs to know a bunch of information and I have to ask them. And other times it goes smoothly. I don't know. It just depends on the brand, depends on the situation. It's a mess. Coolant issues are a mess, both literally and figuratively. Run the black one. Someone said in the Discord chat. I would if I can find the stuff to actually work well in a loop and it stays just fine, stable and everything, I would consider putting it in my loop, although I'm still really scared of that because I know for a fact my loop does not have like super high flow. Like it is not that fast. It's plenty fast enough for cooling performance, but I don't know about for something like this coolant.
You have a lot of restrictions in your loop.
Yeah, exactly. I have lots of bends, lots of restrictions, so it kind of scares me. I think view usually looks the best, seems sensitive, so it has to be clean like crazy, but I go crazy cleaning when I switch my fluids. I personally am fine right now using Pastel, but I love the future of all this stuff. That's how I feel, Sean. Honestly, that's pretty much how I feel about it all. I'm still running Pastel, and I like it. It looks fine in my loop. This stuff looks really cool, but Pastel looks great too, in my opinion. There's plenty of transparent coolants that look great. Uh, Really, it's any kind of 3D coolant, in my opinion, is just not really at your own risk. It's how much work you want to put into it. Is how I think it is. I sent Greg all my feedback and pics so he can add it to his feedback for Premature on the view he been testing. Nice. Notice you have to use Mayhem's Blitz 2. Well, technically you don't have to use Mayhem's Blitz 2, so in the product description, I wrote that up kind of, and as far as I know, Elliot, if he's still hanging out, is probably the best person to talk about for cleaning. I don't have any view, Sterling. Not currently, and we don't actually carry it yet, or I don't know what's up with that. Not really in my hands. But no, I don't have any. But what was I saying? Yeah, Watercool Fool asked if you have to use Mayhem Splits too, or he mentioned that. Technically you don't. Yeah, it's 1% phosphoric acid. That's Blitz. That is Blitz too. I have some right here. I'm pretty sure it's phosphoric acid, like you said. But this Blitz 2 is one of the best cleaners, I think, if no matter what brand you represent or prefer, whichever the case is. Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love to test it. Let me think. I think I can get another D5 pretty easily. I just have to figure out another pump, I think. But I may be able to do that, and then I should be able to run another test loop, I think. I'll figure it out. I could at least run like a res loop like you have. If I get another D5, I could at least do that. And I can run VU2 at the same time. Like I said, I want to see this stuff in person, and I want to see what it does and when I use it. That way I can just better recommend products to my customers. That's kind of why I'm here, guys. Like, I work with as many different parts and components and brands as I can, but it's impossible for me to work with everything. I'm just doing my best, and after I do work with something, I just try to give my honest opinion on how it worked for me. But you always got to know that I'm not perfect either, so I might be just using something wrong. No, you can use Blitz Part 2 in your loop if you have nickel plating. Blitz Part 1 is for your radiators only, and yeah, you would not want to use that with anything nickel. And we love you for it. Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words. I need that black. Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. That black looks really cool. I think if I could figure this stuff out, I might try black in my rig. Who knows? But it's pretty cool. Jason getting thirsty. But yeah, Watercooling full system. Make sure you got that. Blitz Part 2 is a full system cleaner. The directions are with it. It's kind of in depth. It takes a good day to clean your loop with it, but it is one of by far the best, I think, cleaners. There's also Cryo Chillz Reboot. It's another one. You just run Blitz 2 in your loop for 48 hours with no issues. Well, the funny story. I've booted my loop with or my system with the Blitz Part 2 in it, because you're supposed to run it for up to 24 hours, or maybe actually just 24 hours. So, and I had my system actually running, and temperatures were fine, but it even, Mayhem's even says themselves that you're not supposed to use it as a coolant. So you don't want it, one, it's not a long-term coolant, and two, it's just not a coolant. Granted, there's a lot of distilled, so that's obviously why the temperatures are fine. But no, I really wouldn't advise, if you have to use your system, I would hope it would just be like for browsing and stuff like that. Nothing that's like super taxing, like you're not going to be rendering or anything like that, or any serious gaming. However, it probably wouldn't be extremely detrimental if you ran your system with the Blitz Part 2 in there. Because it is annoying. You do have to, like I said, shut your system down for like 24 hours. But it's definitely, aside from taking apart everything in your loop, every component, and pulling them all apart, I really don't think there's a better way to clean your system than Blitz Part 2. I haven't used Reboot actually either, so I don't know how that goes, but that's another one. Okay, you have SysPrep. That's another, like that, I mean, that one is for full system cleaning, and many people use it. I haven't used that either personally, so I wouldn't really know. But it's another system cleaner, so there's that. There's options. Yeah, actually, I don't think Elliot's on Discord as much anymore, but we do have Daniel, technically the owner of UFO Technologies. He's in our Discord. I don't know if anybody posted the Discord yet or not. Spike Spiegel. Nice. We getting more members. Yeah, I could do a quick plug for our Discord giveaway. We do have a Discord server, guys. That's where a lot of us hang out and talk. At least, like I said, Jason and Tor and Greg are all some great guys that hang out here and just kind of share information. We all just... Oh, and Carlos. I almost forgot Carlos. He's being a bump on the pickle there, so he's easy to figure out sometimes. Here's our Discord link, though, guys. Hit that up. We're at like 500. We're probably at 560 members or so now, and we actually have a giveaway going on right now. For when we hit 600 members, we will be giving away 2 bottles of this fancy Cryo Chillz Coolant, as well as an EK RGB 150 reservoir. So join the Discord. Like I said, we all hang out and kind of just shoot the shit about water cooling and modding and, you know, whatever else you want to talk about. So I was on last night, but nobody was on. I'm usually around. Just definitely tag me or whatever. If you definitely need anything specific, I'm always willing to chat. I try to pay attention as much as I can to the Discord, but sometimes I get lost in some other things too. I apologize. But yeah, guys, definitely hit up the Discord. Carlos, anything to add? Bump on a pickle? I'll take the res, Tor says. Oh, look at Jason trying to steal my ads. I wonder how many. Let's see what I'm up to. Jason's always thirsty for the ads. The invites. Invites. Actually, Jason, okay. You're up to like 24. I'm at 540. You still got a long ways to go, Jason. Good luck.
How many on me?
I didn't even look because you're so insignificant. Just kidding. Wow. Any suggestions on drying the loop out completely to add this? Oh, drying the loop out completely. That is kind of difficult. That's a tough one, man. It really depends on your loop. Min Chu asked, any suggestions on drying the loop out completely to add this? Because it does say with the UFO stuff to try to get, like, you're supposed to flush it. So theoretically, you should just have distilled in your system. However, it says to get as much of that out even as you possibly can, which is kind of tough. I guess my best suggestion is start pulling tubes. Get paper towels, get a bucket, start pulling tubes and picking up your PC and draining it. Try not to get anything on your components, obviously. Be careful. Low pressure air, that would work too, Watercool Fool. I've heard of people adapting some like bike pumps before for flushing a system. That would work. I'm not quite sure exactly where to get that, so I can't really give you guys any links, but
I wouldn't recommend using compressed air either.
you really have to do low pressure because a lot of radiators can't handle it. So you got to make sure that it's really low pressure, but as long as you have some pressure, it should be able to push out the fluid. But otherwise, I would just tried and true method, like I said, start pulling tubes. Your radiators are going to be where most of the coolant is probably built up. Or not coolant, but distilled water.
I would say for best bet to run brand new tubes.
If you have PTG, I don't think it matters, or any kind of rigid tubing. So cryo is non-conductive. I'm sure it is to begin with. What's up, Irritable Bear? How's it going, man? Aquarium air pump. Yeah, something like that. Like Packrat just said, anything really low pressure. Like a lot of radiators, as far as I know, are like max 1.5 bar. So like you don't want to get too much pressure going on.
A lot of radiator on stream.
No. I only have, like I said, I got my, like, I think this is my only spare radiator at the moment. So, like, quit trying to kill my radiator, man.
I'll donate one.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. There is always a little bit of oil in an air compressor.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Well, would a bike pump, like a bike tire pump, have as much oil in it?
No, it's not. It's not. It's hard to say. That'd be something that.
I don't know. I've heard of people. I actually talked to this guy over Thanksgiving break who was working on, like, he 3D printed like this adapter thing, and it made it so he could use like a bike pump to, people are saying, use compressed air to clean out their loop. I don't know what happened with that though. He never told me any more than that weekend. Yeah, see, it still has oil in the piston. So yeah, there's always that danger. Like I was trying to say to Min, there is that tried and true method. Pull your tubes out and drain it from every open port that you can. And if you have to, like another place besides rads is always blocks. Blocks will have some pockets where coolant is more than likely going to get stuck. So if anything, you'll have to pull tubes and blocks. But that should be as far as it goes. I don't know. Yeah, don't use your compressor and loop. Yeah, that's just it's dangerous. I don't know. Without a lot of research and actually trying to do that myself, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, air dry them, dismantle. If anything, guys, if you are planning to get a 3D coolant, if anything, if you want to be 100% sure and like never be the one to blame for it failing, I would say friggin' take apart your entire loop. Clean everything, down to the fittings. Like, clean the fittings. Like, I don't care. Clean it all, put it back together, and then put your 3D coolant in there, whether it be View, whether it be UFO, Cryo Chillz stuff, or Aurora, whatever it is. Make sure it's super duper clean. I think with more tested coolants, like I said, with Mayhem's Pastel's next one, they've been tested a little more. I think they are a little bit more reliable as far as you're not reliable, but easy to use. You don't have to worry quite as much. However, I think that their color change happens pretty easily for some colors. I don't know how. Elliot, have you experienced a lot of color change with View? I feel like the 3D coolants don't have like as much color change going on.
I experienced more fallout than anything.
Yeah, I think just fallout is the thing to worry about with 3D coolants, whether it be your fault or not. Particle buildup slash fallout is what scares everybody. How much maintenance is involved in a custom loop? Well, it depends. Like I was saying, if you're using something like a 3D coolant like we're showing off tonight, probably more than average. There's probably more than average maintenance for that. But if you're just running like some Mayhem's X1 Clear and you really don't care, you can run that stuff for multiple years without actually having to like flush your system or anything. So you can go anywhere from having to flush your system every few months and breaking down the blocks and having to clean everything out to a loop that can last up to 3 years, if not more. Just depends on what cooling you choose, how well you clean things beforehand, and just you gotta watch it, maintain it. I don't know. So there's no particle buildup or fallout with the UFO, right? Well, we were talking about that just a little bit earlier. There, I can pull up the picture again, I guess, if you guys want. We got some different people in here, kind of wrapping it up. But I will recap. I will recap for y'all what we covered on tonight's stream about this Cryo Chillz update. So this loop is a test loop. You guys can see it still over here. It's been running for a week. I kind of talked about a lot. If you guys want to get the full details on this custom loop, not really, it's a fake loop. But beyond the full details, watch the previous stream. So I'm going to switch to the picture that I took. So this is the buildup that I've experienced with the Cryo Chillz stuff. This is on the back of the reservoir. And I believe that it is because of eddy currents from this drop-down tube here. So this tube here is creating the lowest amount of flow in the loop right here. So this is where we're seeing a little bit of buildup. So take that for what you will. I hand cleaned everything and I ran blitz through it. Maybe it wasn't 100% clean. There's always the human factor, so you can blame me if you want. I personally, I'm going to say it did all right because after I tried several times, I shut off the loop, let it settle out to the point where it's dang near clear, and then started back up, and all the particles that fell out that way would remix back in. So that was good. That was really good. However, this stuff back here isn't quite as nice. What caused that, I'm not 100% sure, which is why another thing I said is I'm going to be making a new loop, a new test loop on Friday during that stream, and then I will be using this silver UFO Cryo Chillz. So we're going to try a new batch, different color, but I don't think it'll matter as much. It should still perform the same technically. So we'll see how that stuff goes in that new mock loop. So you guys definitely want to hit up that stream. That'll be Friday at 7 p.m. in these same places. I think Monday I will reveal and start my custom test bench build. I think I'll have enough stuff to start by then, maybe, just maybe. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But we do have more content coming your way. As I mentioned earlier, we have the Discord giveaway, guys. Join the Discord, be a part of that giveaway. All you have to do is be there within, I'll announce it within 24 hours of us hitting 600 members about the exact time of when the giveaway will be. But just keep on the Discord, hang out with us, and hopefully you guys can win something. Jason's going to update us on his rig later. Thanks, man. I'll give you another shot after I finish my desk PC build. Like I said, I have like this. I should get another test loop set up like me and Elliot were talking about a little bit. I would just love to keep testing different coolants. I really don't care. It's not that hard. Just set up a loop and let it run. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to try to like fib any results. Like I'll just tell you guys what I see like I did tonight. So we'll get more content. And if you guys like this coolant content, hopefully we'll get more of that coming your way. But I appreciate everyone who did stop by tonight and everyone who was chatting. It was great having a discussion about it. It was kind of just a more plain talking stream tonight, but it's kind of why I attended, and I'm glad people actually joined in and wanted to talk about it. Nice, Sterling. Thanks for helping out, Tor. It looks like View and Cryo has the same base. Elliot actually can explain that a lot more. He knows. Elliot is if not the sole designer, but one of the major designers of the View coolant, and he's analyzed the UFO coolant as well. So he can kind of, if you guys want to go back and forth about that, I'm no expert on it, so I would honestly give that up to Elliot to explain anyways. I don't want to say anything wrong or give anybody the wrong information about the coolants. So, with that being said, Carlos, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I got nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
Nothing
What time is the stream usually? It is typically at 7 p.m. That's what I've been trying to do most of the time. Tonight it was at 5. I apologize for the switch up, guys. Usually 7 p.m. Central Time for 4 years. Yeah, like I said, Sterling or Elliot is probably one of the most knowledgeable people on 3D coolants. He may work for Cryo Chillz, but like I said, he's actually personally tested all this stuff himself. So
He knows his stuff.
yeah. I would take what he says, with more than just a grain of salt. He knows what he's talking about. So definitely hit Sterling up for any information, guys, on coolants. I'm pretty sure he's even willing to talk honestly about UFO, and they're like a basic direct competitor. Alex likes turtles. Jeez, man. Okay, maybe that's a sign that it's time to go.
2 grains of salt.
2 grains of salt. Elliot, you're worth 2 grains of salt to Carlos. But thank you everybody for stopping by and chatting. Like I said, hit us up on the Discord. That is like probably the #1 place to hang out. Although we also have our PPC's Builders Club, which is where like Alex is watching it tonight. Nearly at 4,000 members, so that's another great community that's growing. We love to share the same information there, guys. So honestly, just be in both. Join both Facebook and Discord. Like rock salt, if you want, like we can get you some rock salt. Maybe like some nice water purifier salt, dude. How about that? That sounds pretty nice. Can't find Starling. I did forget where he's at on Discord. Like I said, I don't know if he hangs out on Discord quite as much anymore. He's on Facebook though, Tor. He's in the group. So yeah. Everybody's been talking about this stuff. Like I've been posting pictures, other people have been posting pictures of their different 3D coolants, and every time people talk about it for quite a while. So thanks guys for all of the information and the sharing and all that great stuff. You're welcome to check Discord for my updates later. Will do, Jason. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna be heading off though. Like I said, I had to move it up, the stream up for some unscheduled events, sadly. But we'll be back Friday at 7 p.m. sharp, and maybe even by then we'll be doing the Discord giveaway. Who knows? Maybe we'll do it live. But hit up Discord. What's up? Oh yeah. That's what. Wait, what? I'm talking to like 2 different people. I'm not agreeing to shaving my head yet. Here, let me throw a link in chat for you, Sterling. No, I'm not shaving my head. Not yet. Maybe. We'll talk more. Too bad Hank. I don't think Hank's watching. He'd probably be on the bandwagon for shaving my head. Sharing is caring. I was getting pulled away too. Yeah, man, I feel you. No worries, Sterling. We'd love to have you back if you want to hit us up again in Discord. I suppose I could just PM you a link to Discord. There you go, man. Appreciate it, guys. But I'm gonna be heading off. Like I said, I got some things to do, but I can't wait to see you all again. We're gonna be doing a loop, doing some bending, some PTG bending, so you guys will see that, and should be a good time. But have a good night, everybody. Appreciate it. See you later.